DJ Event Planner, Electra Voice, DJ Trivia and DJ Bingo, ProX Direct, NLFX Pro, Promo Only, Odyssey Cases, Perfect Portals, JMOZ Lighting, Instant DJ Requests, and our DJNTV Insiders. This is John Young from DJNTV. Thanks for watching.
Hello. Welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show. Got a couple of things I want to talk about at the top of the show. We have some things to celebrate today. I'll get into that in a minute. Oh. Before I do that, I wanted to clarify something about last week's show. So, okay. So, things happen off camera that you don't see. All right. And one of the things that you don't see is that before we go into screen recording, there's a record button that gets pushed and everybody gets alerted that there is a recording happening, and it says recording in process. And it's a woman who says it, who Howie refers to as the Magic Lady. He says, "Are you ready for the Magic Lady?" He presses record and it says recording in progress. You press OK and then we start the show. So no, Howie isn't on drugs.
No,
that was an inside joke.
It was just, yeah.
Kind of like when you watch the David Letterman show and he says something
right
in the monologue that makes no sense to you, with the audience is in hysterics. It's a private joke between Dave and the audience that happened off camera.
Right. He always did his own opening. He never had a hired comedian come in and warm up the audience. So yeah.
But yeah, he would talk to the audience and then he would make a joke about somebody. Like somebody said they were, I don't know, a truck driver. He'd make a joke about a truck driver. And then somewhere in the monologue, he just dropped truck driver in there. And everybody was like, "Why is that funny?" And but the audience was hysterical.
Right. Yep.
It's kind of our Magic Lady thing last time. So no, Howie's not high or anything. So.
Yeah, I am not on window pane.
No,
as you said.
I apologize if I look off camera. I just dropped a hit of acid. I cannot find
pick that up.
It is around here somewhere. Oh, I got it. Found it. Never mind. I'm good.
Yeah, don't eat the brown acid. It's bad.
Today is the 5th of July.
Yep.
Yes.
And we're celebrating a few things today. One thing is Chico No Huevos Day. My dog got neutered. We're happy. All is well.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the holiday that I skipped over out here in Cali. I'm
Chico No Huevos.
My phone. Chico No
Huevos. Yep. But there's another thing going on that we got to recognize. And I want you guys to guess, it's someone's birthday. Whose birthday is it today? Someone very important somebody who has something to do with our show will appreciate us recognizing this birthday today. Would anyone like to take a crack at as to whose birthday it is today?
My guess would be Aaron.
I'm thinking John Young.
It's Huey Lewis's birthday today.
Really?
So by extension, it does have something to do with John Young.
It has everything to do with John. But we have to recognize today Huey Lewis is older. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Huey Lewis.
Yes.
Although you'll probably be seeing this in October, so it won't matter. For the record, his birthday apparently is July 5th.
For those of you keeping notes, you can put this on your Apple calendar for next year. So you'll be
actually in real life. There's only a week lag between shows.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah,
it's more fun to act like it's longer, because sometimes it is. Sometimes I'll wait for a show and they just kind of forget about it.
Hey, everybody. Happy 2023. We're excited to be back with you. It's like,
right.
Yeah.
Wait, actually, when did this show go ahead?
Yeah, the window pane show, as I refer to it, that just aired just before we went live.
Yeah.
At 9:00. Yeah.
We may have recorded that last week or the week before. I don't remember.
Last week. I remember it.
Okay. All right.
They all just gelled together.
I was like, I haven't heard that window pane phrase and
reference in a while.
Oh my God, decades.
So I was watching last week's show and we were talking about maybe incorporating, certain sound clips into our sets. Jay was talking about a TikTok clip that his audiences wanted.
Yep.
It was an audio only clip.
Mm.
And then we kind of got into maybe, I thought that was pretty neat to watch it and kind of, because I'd forgotten we talked about it because, I got brain damage. So I was watching this thinking, what a great idea. I still think it's a good idea a week later. Singing again.
That's a good thing.
I think it's smart if we want to do something like that.
Yeah. Now with TikTok, what are they like 30 seconds or 1 minute or something only?
No, they're up to I think they're up to 2 minutes now, to be honest.
They go to 10, but it's 15 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute and 3 minute recordings that it's offering on my TikTok, which by the way, I haven't paid much attention to. I don't understand TikTok, so I just don't do it.
I don't either.
It's just that, and I think I know Howie's talked about it, and I'm pretty sure, Brian, you were in one of the rooms when we talked about it. Howie was on the call. We did a call a few weeks ago. I think it was the one with Cascade and Deadmau5, and Chris Cox was there.
Right.
Harry Vance from Promo Only said, "Hey, Chris, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, "Hey, everyone's Chris Cox, big remixer, yada, yada, yada. How's the remixing going?" And Chris goes, "It's really not. Labels aren't spending money on remixing. They're pumping it into TikTok."
Right.
Yeah.
So I saw that on last week's show.
Yeah. So the first thing you have to be aware of is if you think you're going to get new music breaking through radio channels or Sirius or here and there, I think the reality is the money's going to TikTok. So
sure,
knowing what's being played and, when my client calls me and says they want to do it doesn't jiggle, it folds dance, I knew exactly what she meant. And I think she was actually right. And she goes, "Oh, so you know that?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I've got that clip. I can take care of that." She's like, "Oh my God, because I told my fiance and I thought it'd be 20 minutes of explaining it." I'm like, "Nope. I'm on TikTok."
Well, I'll notice that on TikTok, what limited experience I have with it is that they'll take a song and they'll put it over any video. It doesn't matter what
over
video
anything.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, at, the one of the barbecues we had this weekend with the family, my other son-in-law, not Eris, the other one, was there, and he was watching TikTok videos, and it was all music, and it was cranked up. I don't know why you got to crank up a video where the music doesn't go with the video, but they had it cranked up, and it was contemporary music, but it was all about Dr. Pimple Popper. It had nothing to do with the song, or you know what I mean? So, okay, two things with that. Two things. Yeah, they are promoting music on TikTok, and two, what the hell am I doing TikTok videos for? I can't compete with pimple popping.
Well, I think it's the algorithm issue.
Try.
I mean,
oh my God.
The show's a week old, but this week, the number one song on iTunes is Metallica.
Metallica, yeah.
Nothing else matters. But it's the song they're using on Strange Things or Stranger Things. I don't watch
Stranger Things.
Yes.
Come on, Jay, do the program.
I don't watch that show.
That has to be.
I don't care.
No, what they're playing from Street, is it For Who the Bells Toll or?
Yes,
like that?
it's that one. Yeah, and that's now the number one song on iTunes. And they were saying the number one song over in the UK is Kate Bush, Running Up the Hill.
Yeah,
from Stranger Things. So the power of media for music, I think, is unprecedented right now.
Guess what number 3 is? Because I just watched that Rick Beato show that came out a few days ago.
What's that?
Comfortably Numb. And yeah.
Was that on Stranger Things?
Yeah. And they interviewed. No, I don't know if it was on that, but it's number 3. It has 600 million listens. And it's like, you got to be kidding me.
And they probably got a whole 30 cents for that. And royalties.
Maybe, right?
This is the fight I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for this because the labels are saying you can use it because they're getting paid direct. But the artists are getting an 1/8 of a 1/10 of a 100th of a penny per million streams. I'm waiting for the revolution of, you know what? No, I'm taking my rights, I'm taking my masters, and I'm just going to put my music out the way Jack White does it, the way 9 Inch Nails does it, the way a lot of groups do it. You go to my website, here's 3 songs for free. I hope you support me on tour. And, the new world order of music and industry and business has started. And if
you know who's done that? Kate Bush owns everything of hers. So when her song went number 1 again, here 40 years later, she got a check for $1 million.
Good. She deserves
And good
a check
for her.
$1 million bucks.
Good for her.
Well, I'm with you on the media thing. I mean, it's been that way for a long time. I mean, the first time I can remember it well, no, I guess the first time I can really remember it happening, and it was movie stuff from the 80s. And we've talked about this before on shows where I'm thinking about a movie like Against All Odds, which is a forgettable, crappy film with terrible
one of the most
pacing.
amazing soundtracks ever.
But Phil Collins does this track for it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Larry Carlton's tracks, all the instrumental work. It's got
oh my
Stevie
gosh
Nicks on it. It's got Peter Gabriel, Walk Through the Fire, which is one of the most underrated tracks of all time. It's a great soundtrack.
Well, he also did Separate Lives for White Nights.
Yeah.
Another movie that was like, I don't know, Dancers
But
in
that's
Russia.
when those tracks weren't released, because I think that was the case with Against All Odds. I don't think that was released on any of Phil Collins' albums to date.
It was for the soundtrack.
It was for the soundtrack. And that's the way it used to be. I had to buy Ford Fairlane.
For Cradle of Love.
Cradle of Love. And Queensryche, Last Night in Paris. They didn't release it on any of their product.
Sure.
So you ran into that, if I don't get the soundtrack.
Right. Bright Lights, Big City had like Good Love. That was Prince. And then Mars Pump Up the Volume was a 1-song project with the collaboration, which was Mars. They didn't like each other and they didn't even like the track, but it ended up on Bright Lights, Big City.
Right.
And there were other tracks on there. Like I think Brian Ferry's Kiss and Tell was on there. I don't think it was on.
Kiss and Tell is actually on Bête Noire.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that one was. I want to say that the Leonard Cohen, Everybody Knows, track by Concrete Blonde is on. That's on Pump Up the Volume.
Yes.
I don't think they released it anywhere else.
But the version in Pump Up the Volume is the one I can't find because it's slowed down or something.
It's really slow. It's a great version.
Cool. It's cool the way they did it. Yeah.
It's super cool.
It's almost like Vaporwave from the 80s or something. Oh, it's neat how they did it.
Yeah, no, it totally is. But it's sort of, that's one of those bands that we don't talk enough about it. They haven't done anything in forever, but like just Bloodletting, just that song and their Everybody Knows are such great tracks.
But no, that's like, for me, if I'm really thinking about it, that's the first time I can remember songs like being big because of media. But then it went to commercials. I'm thinking about Dirty Vegas Days Gone By from the Volkswagen commercial. I mean, that song, I knew the song. It was a good song. It was big in Europe.
Right.
And I think it took 2 or 3 years for the song to hit the Volkswagen commercial. And then all of a sudden, everybody wants to hear it.
Well, and that had live too, because it was on 6 Feet Under on HBO.
Trio Da 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 was also Volkswagen. And that song was over 10 years old when it hit that Volkswagen commercial in the 90s.
Remind Me, Ricoscop was on Progressive or Geico, which the Caveman campaign.
I don't remember that one.
The airport. And they're playing Remind Me by Ricoscop. I mean, it was enough that I bought it and started playing it at Cocktail for Weddings and had people coming up going, I know this song. Where do I know it from?
Sure.
And it's when I realized there was a tie-in. But I think, Brian, if you look back on the past, in the 70s and 80s, most commercials, they wouldn't buy both rights. They wouldn't buy writing and publishing. They'd just get the writing so that they could have a band do a cover. Remember, like
they did a lot of original songs then too. I mean,
right? But I mean, Miami Vice really started that whole real music on TV. That was Miami Vice, really, when you think about it. You watch the A-Team and they've got somebody else singing a famous song. Miami Vice paid the rights for those tracks, and that's when I think it all shifted in 84, 85. And moving forward, people went, I mean, remember when Michael Jackson, when he got the rights to the Beatles tracks, that was the big fear. Didn't Nike pick up Revolution for an ad campaign in the 90s?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
I think they did.
They did.
And that was a huge thing. Like, wait a second, there's a Beatles song on a Nike commercial. And that kind of paved the way to make it all right.
Well, without going too far on this, media does influence songs, and we used to see it in movies. We don't see it in movies like that anymore. Unless it's a throwback. And the first time I started seeing throwback from media,
what was I
going to say?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
No. Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing.
With Contours, Do You Love Me? I mean, that was a top 10 hit again.
Good call.
And,
Yeah,
and
good
then
call. Yeah.
the next time I saw it with the throwback stuff was actually Pulp Fiction with Jungle Boogie
Oh my God, yes.
and Let's Stay Together
Yep.
and
Yeah.
Son of a Preacher Man. I mean, that was on nobody's radar until
No.
Pulp Fiction hit. And now
Right.
it's a staple, as is Jungle Boogie,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know, as is
Boogie
Out
Nights
Let's Stay
brought some
Together.
great tracks back too.
And the
Yes. Yeah, they did.
Are you seeing anybody on your dance floor doing this? Like the Pulp Fiction dance?
If you do
Well, it's
Jack Rabbit,
happened.
yeah. If you do the
Yeah.
Jack Rabbit, whatever.
You Never Can Tell Chuck Berry's song. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's funny because that documentary I mentioned when we first came on, they mentioned that Redbone is in Guardian of the Galaxy
Oh, the opening sequences.
when he's walking through and kicking these little aliens around.
Not the opening credit sequence, I should say.
Yeah.
The opening song in Guardians of the Galaxy is 10cc, I'm Not in Love.
Okay.
And
But
then,
they were saying that the Redbone track, the correlation of being
Yeah.
Native American,
yes.
and that the song is played at a moment in the movie when he's got kind of a victorious walk through a scene.
Yeah.
And they kind of said, that it's really much more of that kind of a song than people give it credit.
Well, if you want to talk about Guardians, I mean, and we've discussed this before, James Gunn writes scenes around songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he doesn't like write a movie or write a scene and then say, what track would work for this? He has a song in mind
Right.
Mhm.
and writes a scene around it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
someday, because I know Guardians of the Galaxy 3 has been announced. I don't know if
Oh,
they're filming
really?
yet. Yes, they're doing it. It's happening.
We
With
should do a
James Gunn.
show on picking the 10 songs that should be in the movie.
Right. What
Yes.
are the songs?
Yeah.
You know,
And then see when it comes out how close we are.
I think he should use the Babies Every Time I Think of You.
Oh my God. Yeah. All
That
day
would
long.
be a song for that.
All day long.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
stuff like
there's-
Wham Bam, Shang-a-Lang, and Lakeshore Drive. I mean, that's on the head. Then they did The Chain and My Sweet Lord and Mr. Blue Sky, which I wasn't expecting. I thought they were probably too mainstream. But the deep tracks,
I
For
wouldn't
some
mind
reason-
hearing What Is Life by George Harrison. There's
well,
a
we
lot
already
of
did My
scenes
Sweet
back
Lord,
and
so we shouldn't revisit Harrison.
forth. That's
And
true.
My
What
pick,
about
my pick for a chase scene would be Deep Purple Highway Star.
Yeah,
that's
it
a
would
good
work.
one. Or Burn.
For a chase scene.
Yeah. Or Burn.
I think
Like
it would be
Deep
fun to do like
Purple,
the deep tracks, though. Like, what song is no one talking about? No one was talking about Wham Bam, Shang-a-Lang, or Lakeshore Drive.
Mhm.
Those were
Yeah.
kind of like, wow, where did that
Totally
come
forgot
from?
about this.
Mhm.
Right. So every time I think of you, it's a song that no one plays. No one ever plays it.
Undercover Angel by
Yeah,
Alan O'Day.
Alan O'Day. That would be great.
That'd be a great one.
Oh,
That would be good if there's like another celestial thing
Celestial being of some kind.
going. Yeah,
I'd love to see Andrew Gold get in there, maybe with Lonely Boy
they
versus.
did it with Boogie Nights though.
What was in Boogie Nights?
Lonely Boy. Yeah,
Was it?
Lonely Boy was in Boogie Nights.
I don't remember that.
It was during the pool scene, I believe.
Mhm.
Oh wow, I love that.
When they first zoom in on Philip Seymour Hoffman when he's checking out Mark Wahlberg. That's
Right.
the song they're playing.
Oh, my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been done. I mean, great idea, but it's been done.
Huge.
Yeah.
No, it's a good idea though. I mean, Tighter would be another really cool one to play.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's just weird ones that people are not talking about. I don't know.
Mhm.
Have we seen Sweet Love Is Like Oxygen?
No, but they did. What was the sweet song they did?
Did they do Ballroom Blitz or
No, no,
Fox on the Run?
Quite a few.
Fox on the Run.
It's been in quite a
Fox
few.
on the Run.
They did Fox on the Run.
Fox on the Run too. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could deep it if you want to go glam. You could reach down and grab something by Slade, I guess.
That would be fun.
Mama,
But
We're All
they
Crazy
did
now.
they did that song. No, they did Come On Feel the Noise. Or maybe it was Mama, We're All Crazy Now. There was a show on HBO, and I thought it was really interesting, but they canceled it after one season. It was called, and I
Vinyl.
hate saying this word, Vinyl. Yes.
Oh yeah, no, you know
I
who wrote
remember
that?
you admonished someone about that.
Oh, no, I just,
in America, their records.
I'm an
But
American
you
over
know who went-
35. I have records. Yeah.
You know, you know who produced that whole show? The producer
Yeah.
was
Mick Jagger?
Jagger and Scorsese.
Of course. Okay. Yeah.
No kidding. Together.
I thought it was good, though. It was talking about payola
Yes,
and
yeah.
kind of this,
Yeah,
you know,
And it's one of those shows that everyone that talks about it in the Hollywood community raves and can't understand why it didn't last.
Yeah.
They said it more or less came down to new direction from HBO. Oh, and the writer was Harry Winter from The Sopranos.
No, I thought it was good, but they had one of the first opening scenes in that was a Slade song, which was neat. It was a girl walking to the office, basically, and they're in her very 70s garb, young girl. I don't know if she was an intern or what she was, but that was the opening scene was to a Slade. And that's why it made me think of Slade. Yeah, that'd be cool, but it's been done. Okay. Then there's shows like Umbrella Academy. I don't know if you've ever heard of it.
I've heard of it. I have not seen it.
Oh, man, it is really good. I just wish they made more.
It's interesting, but it's weird. Umbrella Academy is a weird one for me, though, because they have a soundtrack budget. Like, they play really good songs in this.
But they actually have a budget, that's it?
Well, no, they have the budget for these songs. Jay knows how much this shit costs.
Oh, it's expensive.
They did Kenny Loggins' Footloose. Yeah. They did...
it's big
stuff like Tiffany, I Think We're Alone Now was in there. There's all kinds of songs in there, but they don't seem to stick with anybody. Like it's Stranger Things is, but Umbrella Academy isn't. But I think Umbrella Academy has more songs in it. And it seems like their budget is like, that's where they're putting their money for this show into music, which is crazy seeing how this stuff isn't hitting. I don't know. I thought it would hit better.
Stuff costs, go back to the late 90s, early 2000s, Sopranos were blowing through probably 100 to 200,000 an episode.
Yeah, we've talked about that. They used was it like a Zeppelin tune or something?
Cost $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000 for 30 seconds. That Zeppelin song. Yeah,
I remember the conversation with Boogie Nights at the end of the film. They do Living Thing Electric Light Orchestra.
Yeah,
and they were trying to get the rights from Jeff Lynne, and Jeff was like, "Hey, look, I have kids. I don't think I want my music associated with this type of film about pornography."
Because at the very end, they actually do the full frontal.
Well, it's not real, but
song.
But that's the end of that's the song they play at the end, Living Thing. And so they said, well, why don't you watch a screener of it? Yeah, come over, watch the screener, and then decide, and we'll tell you where we want to put the song. And at the end of it, I guess he was like, "F yeah, you used my song. This is awesome." So until he changed his mind because it was a good film.
It's P.T. Anderson. And if you've never seen anything by P.T. Anderson, anything he's done has been phenomenal. His last one, have you seen his last one, Brian? Licorice Pizza?
No.
It's it's Licorice Pizza is the name of a famous record store in LA in the 80s, 70s.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, Licorice Pizza.
That was,
I don't remember where it was, but I've heard of it.
It was on, I think, Melrose.
Yeah. Oh, it was LA.
Melrose.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it was a chain. Maybe it was. I'm not sure, but I know there was one because it's Licorice Pizza was where the first Motley Crue album, when it was on their own leather records, kind of debuted in their front window, and they did all this decoration. But that was Licorice Pizza.
Sure.
The band, is it Hem?
H-I-M?
H-A-I-M. Haim.
Oh, I don't know.
It's the three sisters.
Oh.
They're in the movie, and their parents are in the movie, and the daughter plays one of the main characters, and they showed a clip, and they're like, was it tough acting? She's like, no, that's my mom and dad. Those are my sisters. We just had a normal conversation in a room. Like, this is what we do all day. Yeah. So, I'd love to say, but it's P.T. Anderson who did Boogie Nights, Magnolia with Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
He taps into Amy Mann really hard too from music. But I think he's up there with Quentin Tarantino in my book as far as picking great songs.
Yeah.
That scene of I got a brand new pair of roller skates.
Yeah, brand new key. Yeah, Melanie.
Brand new key.
Yeah.
Man, talk about a great scene for that song to be in. But I still think the best was the murder scene at the donut shop when he starts playing God Only Knows. When he comes out and they play Beach Boys, God Only Knows, and you see all the characters start crossing each other. You know when he goes in to get donuts?
Yeah. What movie was that?
That was Boogie Nights. And they play God Only Knows, and they show all the characters and where they've gone to.
Oh, the end. At the end.
Yeah.
At the end, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, at the end.
Wow.
I remember now.
Yeah, I don't think people grasp how important the music is. And I saw an interview with Jan Hammer about Miami Vice. They would send him the scene, and say, here's the scene. What do you got? And he's up in upstate New York with a keyboard going, and then he would send the DAT tapes back. It'd be like, cool. Like, can you imagine having the skill to look at a scene and go, this is what it should sound like, not what song you should have.
Right.
'Cause I think that's a little easier, but it's still very difficult. I mean, people that pick music for movies.
But that's composing. And I like both. I like composers, but then I also really dig what Brian was saying about, hey, no, I'm going to write the scene around the song because I already have the song. So that's like, whoa.
It's almost music video-esque, you know?
Yeah, it's just different.
I did a wedding where the last song of the night, the bride said, I want something different. I want to end on a slow note, and I want it to be memorable. And I had just seen Wise Guys. And I said, what if I play the back half of Layla? Like I start at the piano and I just play it through.
You had just seen Goodfellas.
Goodfellas. I'm sorry. What did I say? Wise Guys?
Wise Guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like a comedy. Yeah. I'm like, what? Okay.
Yeah. I keep you on your toes, Brian. I know
he's not a movie guy.
I got to keep
not a movie guy.
Your doctor said, keep him going. Keep him. Say things he'll argue. I said, okay. And that scene where they show the couple in the pink Cadillac that have been killed.
That was definitely Goodfellas. Yeah.
Yeah. And they're playing the back half of Layla.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that at her wedding, and she went to hire me for her parents' wedding, or anniversary in 2020, which obviously didn't go. But she said people still, like 8 years later, will mention that she had the best ending of a wedding ever. Because everyone was
massacre scene.
They're all out there, and they knew what was going on, and they knew the track, but they couldn't figure it out. Like, and she got what she wanted. She was crying and everything. I didn't base it on a killing. I based it on this will be memorable. It just so happens it was the beginning of a murder scene. I can't control everything.
It's funny you should say that about murder because the song itself was written about this unrequited love for someone else's woman, you know?
Right. Which I then found is actually a famous poem written in Arabic times like 10 million years ago. And there's this whole story behind it.
Now you're making stuff up, huh?
No, I'm dead serious. Layla's a famous poem. It's not the words that Clapton used, but the point of the poem is this guy's looking for this girl and just chases her through the desert trying to get her. It's that unrequited love thing, which he thought he would have. It's still shocking they stayed good friends, isn't it? Him and George Harrison. I mean, they were good friends till the end.
One thing's got nothing to do with the other.
Yeah, that's my point. Like, he didn't view it as the same thing. Most people do.
That's
a lot of people, Brian, I know, if you took their wife, may not be having drinks with you the next day.
Probably not.
Just saying.
Unless you did him a favor, ultimately. You know?
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see if TikTok is where music is being broken now. What's on the horizon of how the industry will deliver new music to us since videos are gone? Movies are going backwards, not forwards as much. It seems like the social media environment has become the new playground for check out this song. The only downside I see is music will come and go at lightning speed.
Yeah.
So
my God.
You won't even have time to register on the charts because if it falls off TikTok by next Monday and didn't break the charts yet,
it goes back to the old days where you really only had to worry about the best of the best.
Right.
I think it'll be the great separator now. Like the really, really good stuff will stay. And the fly-by-night one-hit wonders that, you know, A, B, C, D, E, F, U, and like stuff like that will just be like yesterday's news by the afternoon.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's how it used to be. We talked about this in the last show. I just watched this broadcast, and I don't know if I articulated my point well or explained it well, but I remember how fast things used to move back in the old days.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't have songs that stuck around for a long time, you know?
Well, like especially 84, which I think was the greatest year for music.
It was one of the greatest. Yeah, it was good.
Really, there were so many different styles of albums all vying for that #1 spot. So if you had a #1 album for 4 weeks, that was a platinum record,
Right.
You just think of the albums that were like back and forth, and maybe they only got a week or two, and you look back at how amazing they are, like the Police Synchronicity, it's like, nobody paid attention to it.
That first 5 years of the 80s was such a transitional on all levels. I mean, whether it was new wave, whether it was punk, whether it was metal, whether it was progressive, like it just seemed like everybody was firing on all cylinders. I mean,
well,
80 alone.
Oh my God.
I think everything went real strong. I've said this over and over again. It's like a broken record, but I think the 80s went to 1992. I mean, it was strong.
Yeah.
I'd agree with you there.
And you even gave examples of songs into 92 that, they fit with the 80s for sure.
Oh yeah.
Well, it was progressive. I mean, and I like progressive. I like things that get better and learn and grow. I don't like doing the same thing forever. I hate doing the same thing forever. I like things that, mature or change and progress. And I also, I've never been the guy who wants to hear the #1 song. I've always been the guy who's heard the #1 song and would like to hear what's next that maybe nobody else is hearing before it's the #1 song.
Right.
I liked Eye of the Tiger before anybody knew what it was. Everybody knew what it was. I was burnt out on it. I was done with Eye of the Tiger. I didn't want to hear it anymore. I'm that guy.
Yeah.
But most people aren't like me. Most people are, going with the mainstream.
Right.
And they're,
There's very few times. I mean, I used to go to a lot more shows than I do, obviously, now. And I fall back on 1990 Spit, Tuesday night seeing Macaulay Schenker in April of 1990, and one of the opening acts was the Black Crowes, and it was probably one of the few times I've ever been to a show where I'm like, they're going to be huge. They have it.
Because it wasn't the Gaga thing.
But I didn't see it the way you guys did. I was like, she's good. I didn't see her being the next coming. Did you? I thought she was good, but I don't think we would, 14 years later.
It was the most interesting thing I'd seen in a long time.
Performance. Oh, yeah.
I just didn't think I thought it was cool, but I said before, I don't mean to sound like that guy, but I've always felt like I was a couple steps ahead of everybody else. I don't want what you're doing right now because it's popular. I want the next thing that's going to be popular.
Yeah, but
I'm jumping ahead a little bit.
Did you like the band till they got popular and then didn't like the band anymore? Like that was a big punk and new wave thing where like people loved the Smiths till they got big and they went, I don't like the Smiths anymore.
Right.
They liked the Clash till the Clash played stadiums. Like, I don't listen to them anymore. I'm waiting for the next thing. Well, I think it's great to wait, but don't turn your back on what you like.
You know who that happened to in my circle was Blondie.
I knew you were going to say Blondie.
Yeah.
Well, because when they, turned that, Heart of Glass into a disco thing, oh my God, the punks were like, oh my God.
Here's I'm going to defend Blondie.
Oh,
Parallel Line's a good
I'm just saying what happened with that particular group of people.
No, I think that Blondie, the band Blondie, not Debbie Harry, but the band.
Not
Blondie,
Debbie Harry, but the band.
The band Blondie. Okay, here's a challenge. Find me 2 Blondie songs that sound alike. Blondie song sounds like the other Blondie song.
Yeah.
Nothing else sounds like Heart of Glass.
That's what made her so...
One way or another. Yeah.
Nothing else sounds like The Tide is High. Nothing else sounds like a Rapture.
Telephone.
Right.
Yeah.
They're all uniquely different. It's like every time they did a song, they did a new thing. And I think that's cool.
You know who else did that? I think
she's the fastest one to come out of Max's and CBGB's, like these other ones, like Television, like practicing for a whole year and opening for, like Ramones or something. Blondie just shot right up there as a group because, like you said, every song was different and she had so many hits.
What is who was David Byrne's band?
Talking Heads.
Talking Heads. I think there's another example of their songs don't sound anything like each other.
You know what's crazy about that? I was thinking about Talking Heads before you even said it.
Yeah.
It's not Talking Heads, but it's Tina, the bass player.
Oh,
with Tom Tom Club.
Yeah. Well, it's Tina and her husband, the drummer. Tina Weymouth and is it John something, the drummer?
I don't.
Because they're married and they were Tom Tom Club too.
Right. But what I'm saying is that think about Psycho Killer, which is an early one, or let's, bring it up a couple years and do Take Me to the River. Love
Take Me to the River. I think that's one
anything.
of the best tracks.
And then put it up next to Chains to Love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, there's no.
Not
it's like the Beach Boys doing Sail on Sailor. What the hell is this?
Yeah.
It's like that. And I like that, It's different.
Yeah.
Or Eddie Money doing Maybe I'm a Fool. That is a different tune than anything else Eddie Money does. Two Tickets to Paradise and Baby Hold On are similar. But nothing's like Maybe I'm a Fool.
I feel that way about Machine Gun from Commodores.
Yeah.
Totally off the map. And again, a track from Boogie Nights, but totally off the map of who they are.
Or Billy Preston out. Well, maybe let Billy Preston out of space.
Yeah.
But maybe. I mean, the stuff he was in with the Beatles is very different than that.
Totally.
But yeah, I like it when a band does things that are when a band does the same thing over and over again, like AC/DC.
Yeah, but AC/DC is meatloaf and potatoes. If I order it anywhere in the country, I know what I'm getting.
Comfort
right,
food,
but when I feel like meatloaf and potatoes, I don't want a different sauce, and I don't want a cheese au gratin potato. I want mashed potatoes and meatloaf, and that's what AC/DC is.
It's more like McDonald's. You could go to Holland. You're like, I'm in Holland. I don't know anything about food. Well, let's go to McDonald's. I know what McDonald's tastes like. It's the same here as back home.
When you want McDonald's and you're in the mood for it, there's nothing better because it's what you want. And AC/DC. I think it's, and I'm going to say something that might fly in the face of the critics. I think sometimes it's even harder to sustain a almost 50-year career churning out the same material over and over again.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, no, don't get me. I wasn't dismissing AC/DC.
Rolling Stones, new and old. Once they got into the 70s, the Rolling Stones found their footing and a formula. The Rolling Stones music of the mid-70s, their newer stuff, there's continuity there. You know who they are by a couple chords.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying they didn't grow.
Well,
they fell into here's where we're going. It's an open A tuning. Let's do this. We've got a formula. Let's stick with it because it's party. It works. But it's rooted in what they love. And there's nothing more honest than an artist that gives you who they are. I don't think AC/DC has ever walked off stage and said, oh my God, get me my scarf. I need a back rub. Like, they're who they are. I respect that.
Right.
They probably drive themselves to the show.
Probably do.
I
wasn't suggesting there was no place for them, or I was not trying to.
No. I think there's something to be involved.
They're consistently AC/DC.
Right.
Oh my God, who is this? You're never going to guess who this is. It's never an AC/DC song because you always know it's AC/DC.
Yeah.
But you would, if I asked you who sang Sail on Sailor, you would be stuck.
Yeah.
Until I told you it was
Blondie Chapman.
Right. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good example. That really is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is or not. But no, Blondie was that way. Blondie was always doing different, they didn't do Call Me twice. They didn't do the Titus High twice. They certainly didn't do Rapture twice.
No.
Right.
One way or another, they didn't do twice.
No.
Nope.
No. In fact,
what's
that's
the
probably got more punk roots to it. Hanging on the
Telephone. That's another punk song by them. Total punk song.
Denise.
Yeah. And I think they did those as a way of showing homage to old music, as well as, look, we're still kind of got a punk edge.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think people misunderstand Blondie and Deborah Harry. She wasn't the band. She was the singer. And I don't even know how much writing she did.
Right.
Like, I think Chris Stein in the band wrote all the music. I don't know that Deborah Harry writes music.
No, but she sure looked good in a t-shirt with jeans where they're ripped at the knees. Oh my God.
You gotta play that.
You flush. You're like bright red. Is that the light?
I know. We should start playing Reminiscing by Little River Band for Howie.
I was this close to her. She'd come by and, it was just like, hey, Deb, hey, how, that was it. Like very respectful. They were always very respectful to the crew because they knew we held the power to make them sound good and look good.
You could give them a speaking mic or you could give them a talking mic.
You always gave him a singing mic.
Always.
Yeah, give him the singing.
Yeah, I gave
him the talking.
No.
That's why they liked you.
Wait, quick note. You just brought up a band that needs to be in a movie. Little River Band.
Yeah, all day. Yeah.
What song?
Lonesome Loser.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah,
that's the one that's not on anybody's radar anymore.
I was going to go somewhere else because in a movie somebody needs to be rescued. Hang on, help is on the way.
Hang on.
Oh, that's a good one.
But I think Lonesome Loser is the forgotten Little River Jam.
There's that one, and then the Calypso one, that like sailing the sea alone.
Cool Change.
Is it Cool Change? Yeah,
Cool
Change. There's. I got to look at their catalog. There's another
Albatross and the Whale. They're my brothers.
Yeah.
There's
a rocker they did.
But I think that's like more of a Reminiscing is very lexicon, and I think Cool Change might kind of be too. It's almost Pablo Cruzy.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
Like Cool Kind of Love, But
I got one. Squeeze. I could go for hearing Squeeze, Pull Another Nail from My Heart, or Tempted.
Ooh.
Squeeze was never my jam, but maybe
Tempted's a great track. What about Argent with Paul Carrick?
The Argent song even on my radar is Hold Your Head Up.
Hold Your Head Up. That's
the track I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hold Your Head Up. That's the only
I mean, if you're going into battle, hold your head up high.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just make our own movie. We got enough music.
I could do that.
We just need to write a premise around it.
Do you know what I think would also be like tons of fun? For me, you probably wouldn't care, but I think it would be fun to and do it like as a Twitch stream. Okay. You do the real Purple Rain soundtrack, not the Prince album, but the movie and the music that was in it. And what it should have sounded like if Prince didn't have so much control over the soundtrack rights. So it would be at the time, it'd be Apollonia 6, it'd be Des Dickerson, it would be the guy who did the original music score. It'd be all kinds of neat stuff. The soundtrack would sound very different if it was put together like a regular movie soundtrack. I thought that would be fun. No one's done that before. Well, they probably have.
And that would make a good show, because then you would just pick a particular artist or movie or entity and deep dive. And I've got to find the name of it, and I'll send it to you guys probably in the chill room. There's a guy that had a short-lived podcast where he would tear down a song and he would research everything about it, the instrumentation, how it was played. And he's the one that got me turned on to saying that the greatest rock song of all time is Bob Seger, Hollywood Nights.
No, it's Rich Girl by Hall & Oates.
But this is how he explained it. There are two different drummers playing. So what he did was he got the tracks in stems, and as he's talking about it, he's like, okay, here's Mike Smith, the first drummer.
Sure.
Here's the first opening, the drummer, and he's doing an actual drum line. Now here's what's playing on the other side from him, the other drummer in a different room. And when you listen to it, they're physically two drummers, and they're not like, it's not just hi-hat and snare. They're doing like fills against each other. He's like, and here's where the lyrics came from. And here's the isolated guitar track. And here's the isolated keyboard. He did it for Queen. He did it for a bunch of bands. And it's insanely interesting to hear the original pieces. Like, I'm sure you watch that Eagle Vision, the making of different albums.
Right.
On VH1 Classics.
Yeah.
And they're on YouTube. And they go into like, just Peg by Steely Dan.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
7 solos. And they ended up going with Jay Graydner's First Take. 7 other guitar players did solos, and they play them, and they all sound good. But the guys in Steely Dan are like, ooh, ow, ooh. And then Jay Graydner's solo is like the iconic piece that he did in one rip.
Yeah.
I think we could get Taj Mahal in a movie, too. You don't really hear anything by Taj Mahal out in the public domain anymore.
Well, if we're gonna do this, I would like to do the dancing scene from the time, because the first time I tried to do that back in the day with Purple Rain.
You're talking about Jungle Love?
I'm
or the Verb?
Yeah, I'm definitely a white guy that can't jump, because I tried to like look to the left, look to the right. My legs are going, different direction, and I fell over. I'm like, I fell down. I did.
We all have our own superpowers.
Yeah,
it's just not yours.
At the time, Howie's pushing what looked like a front doorbell, going, "I've fallen and I can't get up."
Get up!
Is that a doorbell?
And I'm only 24 years old and I can't get up.
Jeez.
Yeah, but it's true. I did try to do that dance and I fell.
It looks easier than it is. I've tried it in private. I opted for the private. I can't do it.
So if you had to guess how many people are watching this on the broadcast, right? Like in this broadcasting, what are our numbers? Like I might be in there watching it. Howie might. Robin's always there. Always there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Mikey's there. Maybe Aaron's there. I bet you there's 8 people watching this broadcast right now. Like when it's being broadcast.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's my guess. 8.
But no, actually
7.
It depends.
It says there's 10 participants.
Yeah,
so
it says
3
10.
of us.
Yeah.
No, I mean when it finally goes up on YouTube.
Oh, when it makes it to YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, because people
when it
never
makes it-
understand genius and greatness in its time. This will be big in 50 or 60 years. People will
Yes.
just
The thing
wearing our
is, though,
T-shirts.
it gets restreamed, and unbeknownst to all 3 of us, John has it as a podcast for drive time listening.
Wouldn't you love to find out that's big? Wouldn't you love to find out that we're known on like Apple Podcast or something? And it's
We
like,
are.
oh my God, I listen to you all the time. What do you mean? Look, you've had 12 million streams. Wait a second. Seriously, I do need an agent.
He made a post. He made a post and said, "Hey, yeah, these guys are getting between 5 and 10,000 just people listening and not even seeing our faces."
Yeah, I need an agent.
I don't have that many moms, so it's not me.
It's not me. 5 to 10,000 a week, or it's just of all the shows.
I don't know. All I know is
suck to find that out. Like if we looked it up and we were like number 3 this week behind Joe Rogan and
like John Young just bought a fleet of Teslas for his family.
Like that's why John's never around
because of our podcast. He makes so much money off.
Yeah, that's where the money's going.
Yeah,
where's John?
He's building a new house.
Yeah, apparently he's off.
Big one.
I thought I saw a picture of him with Elon Musk the other day, but I didn't think it was John,
right.
So I just discounted that.
Oh well. Here's another show for you.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
It started. Oh, we're done? Okay.
Well, we can keep going if you want, but
no. What you do is say, "And thank you, folks," and then that's when Jay comes in and monologues for another 10 minutes.
By the way, well, that's what I was kind of thinking would happen. Jay's going to have some final thoughts that have nothing to do with what we talked about.
That's right. Good.
No, I'm pretty chill tonight. I'm pretty. Wow. It's a good topic. I'm pretty good. Yeah, I got nothing.
Is it the window pane?
I don't know.
Well, maybe next week we try to organize our thoughts on these topics and speak more articulate about them. Maybe that won't be as much fun.
Probably not.
It's more fun when it's ADHD off the hat. We didn't take our Ritalin today kind of conversation.
No nets.
These type of shows seem to be the most popular though, because I
think when we mention that during the show, that's probably do it at the end like that.
Yeah, no, I've actually seen the comments because I do go back and look at them, and people go, "You guys." We could tell that you guys are music guys. You love music. You guys are just, crazy like that. Like it's just like fun to watch, and listen to.
We could do a show and tell you how to become a super rich DJ.
Oh, and
we don't have anything to sell or any websites you can join. So
money is boring. It is. Money to me is boring. In the grand scheme of things, cash is boring. What's cool
is what cash buys.
Having the right partner is cool. Having the right wife or the right person in your life, that's cool. Money can't buy you the right person. I know people with some money are married to some nightmares. I don't have money. I got wonderful upstairs.
Now,
having cool kids, That's awesome.
Us three are very unique in that all three of us have lovely, lovely women in our lives.
True.
We're very, very lucky.
Yep. No, money's not everything.
To me, those are the cool things. When people want to talk about making money, that's boring to me. That's not art. And what are you going to do? Just buy a bunch of crap you don't need with it? No, do what you love, do it well, and good things will happen to you. It's done. Yeah. Now let's talk about the art. Let's become better artists together.
To quote David Lee Roth, money won't buy you happiness, but it'll buy you a yacht big enough to sail right up next to happiness.
I'd still rather have the happiness than be next to it.
Yeah.
It's probably some cool people on the yacht.
Probably.
I'm willing to find out.
Maybe. Probably not.
Hey guys, I'm on the yacht. There aren't cool people here. I'll be
just don't have to join a yacht club about it, because I don't want to join any clubs.
No, I don't want to join anything either. No.
Yeah, any club that would have Brian probably isn't worth Brian joining.
Oh, a Groucho Marx joke. I love
way
it.
Back.
Well, he was on to something. The more I think about that quote, the more I'm thinking he was a deeper thinker than I think we give him credit for.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he was brilliant. He really was.
All right, fork time. Fork in it.
All right, kids.
All right.
See you next time.